Hi, this is Nick from the Ondat team, and today I'm thrilled to walk you through our brand new SaaS platform to monitor your Kubernetes stateful applications. It is part of our 2.6 release, and as the first iteration, it allows you to monitor your clusters in terms of data and storage component, such as Kubernetes native objects like storage class or persistent volume claims, as well as Ondat more specific features like replication or encryption. So first, I'm going to show you how to install it and enable the features, and then we'll take a look at the user interface. So without any further ado, let's get started. First, we are going to deploy a Kubernetes cluster. For this, we will be using Google GKE. But as the simplest way to install Ondat is by using the kubectl plugin, let's get started by downloading and installing the plugin binary. Okay, we have installed the plugin and move it into our path. Let's proceed with the cluster now. For this, we are using the gcloud CLI to deploy a Kubernetes regional cluster in Europe West 1. The machine type we selected is E2 standard 4, which gives 4 CPUs and 16 GB of RAM. As there are 3 zones in Europe West 1 and we set the number of nodes to 1, this will lead to a 3-node cluster. And of course, as GKE is managed by Google, we won't have access to the control plane nodes. Let's now log into the Ondat SaaS Platform, where we can get the instructions to connect our freshly installed cluster. You can easily sign up using your Google or GitHub credentials, or just create a user and password. The first thing we need to do is create a new API token. You can achieve this by selecting Add Cluster in the main dashboard view or go to Organization. Next, navigate to API Tokens and select Create API Token. Here in the description, add a unique name that will identify your token. Validate your input and you will see a new pop-up. It details the command to execute on your Kubernetes cluster to install Ondat with the Portal Manager component. This is in case you deploy a new cluster. The second command displayed should only be used if you want to deploy the Portal Manager in an existing Ondat cluster. Now, let's execute this command on our GKE cluster. It is going to deploy Ondat with the Portal Manager. You can see on the screen all the Kubernetes manifests being deployed. The Ondat solution is installed in its own namespace and includes a daemon set, the Portal Manager as a Kubernetes deployment, and a dedicated etcd database to manage blocks metadata. If we go back to the portal, we should now see a new cluster, and in our case, the 3 GKE nodes online. Now it is time to deploy our first application, which will be a 3-node MongoDB database cluster. All the required manifests are available from the Git repository display on the screen. Let's apply the manifests one by one. We start with cluster-wide roles and role bindings and namespace-specific RBAC components. We also create a new namespace to host the community MongoDB operator. Then we deploy the operator itself. We can see it is now running and ready to deploy our database cluster. Let's take a look at the database custom resource configuration. MongoDB will be deployed as a stateful set using an Ondat storage class named Ondat Encrypted, which has encryption enabled. Also, the desired size of the persistent volume for both the data and log volumes will be 1 GB. As the encrypted Ondat storage class has not been created yet, let's do this first. Then we install the MongoDB custom resource definition so that the operator can recognize the schema when we deploy the MongoDB custom resource. Finally, we can deploy the MongoDB cluster by installing the custom resource manifest we just displayed. We can monitor the creation of the MongoDB Stateful Set. Stateful sets have unique properties that make them a good fit for stateful applications. They guarantee a stable network identity, meaning that pods are allocated a unique name even in case of deletion. As you can see on the screen, another property is that new pods are only created after the previous one is effectively running. In the stateful set configuration, we previously saw that each pod deployed should have 2 volumes associated. In Kubernetes, this means that for every MongoDB pod, we should see 1 PVC for the data volume and 1 PVC for the log volume. That is 6 total, as displayed on the screen. Now, let's go back to the portal to see what information is available. In the dashboard, we can see a new application named MongoDB has been deployed. This is the stateful set we just created. Under Applications, View Details, you will see the list of pods as well as extra contextual data such as namespaces where they are deployed, their status, age, and much more. Under the Persistent Volume section, you can see the 6 PVC that have been created. Let's take the example of the data volume for MongoDB1. Click on Details. Here we can access more data, including the access mode, the size of the volume and information related to the Ondat configuration, such as the primary volume ID and the list of existing replicas. This volume doesn't have any replica at the moment, as there's no label enabling that particular feature. However, we can notice that encryption has been enabled by looking at the label storageos.com encryption with the value true. These features are inherited from the storage class attached to the PVC. So let's take a look at the Ondat encrypted storage class. Here, we have access to the entire storage class manifest, and all configured Ondat features are displayed. This includes compression, encryption, number of replicas, and other information that is key when you need to rapidly troubleshoot volume issues. So now, let's set the number of replica for the data volume of MongoDB 0. If you further perform the same operation with the log volume, it will guarantee that the pod can restart on another node in case the node hosting these volumes sustain a failure. This won't happen natively in Kubernetes without Ondat, and the pod can't be restarted until the node goes back online. Finally, let's check the update on the portal. If we navigate to Persistent Volumes, Data Volume MongoDB 0, and View Details, we see now that an Ondat volume replica is available, and the label storageos.com/replicas has been updated with the value 1. That is all we have in store for today. We hope you enjoy this overview of the new Ondat SaaS Platform. Don't hesitate to register for free at https://portal.ondat.io/signup. Thank you for watching this video and your interest in Ondat. We'll see you in the next one.